What do we have here? What? Hey YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. As you guys just seen, we got ourselves a new little project on the channel. So this vehicle is going to be strictly a flip vehicle for me. I'm going to pretty much get it running and then sell it for, you know, say as much profit as I can get, but I ain't trying to rip anybody off either. So got this truck from a buddy of mine, very cheap. I'll throw you guys the numbers and show you guys everything after I get it done and sold, so I can show you like what the kind of profit margins and everything we have. But what we have here is a 2002 Chevrolet Blazer, two-door, two-wheel drive LS. It has 120,000 miles on it. It is nothing special. It's just a plain Jane Blazer. It's got a few issues with the body, like there's some scrapes right there. Got a couple nicks in the paint right here. The interior isn't the greatest, but that's something I'm gonna work on today. I'm gonna try to clean out the carpets and pull the seats and everything like that. Go to the driver's side now. This window doesn't roll down, I gotta fix that. The battery was completely dead when I got it. It didn't even turn over or anything. It was stuck in neutral, so it just drained the battery. The key fobs I have for it aren't the greatest, but it's, you gotta work with what you got, you know. Here's the mighty power plant, V6 Vortec, 4.3 liter. I replaced the battery yesterday. It was cranking real good, but I didn't hear the fuel pump like priming, so we got a fuel pump ordered from rockauto.com with a few other parts. When those get here, we'll be showing you how to install those as well. Just pulled the front seat, passenger seat, and years of trash. So get her cleaned up, I'll show you the after. Got the interior all ripped out, got everything vacuumed up. It's turned out pretty well. Like you can tell, the carpet has seen better days. I wiped down all the panels inside the truck, or excuse me, the S-10 with the, what are they, the body armor, not body armor, Armor All cleaning wipes. It seems to gotten like a lot of the dirt and stuff off. So what we're gonna do next is I have some Bissell Professional Care carpet cleaner. I have this, and then I'm gonna put it in my bug sprayer I just got to stain my fence. I cleaned it out, don't worry about that. So I rinsed it out, made sure everything was clean. I'm gonna use this joker to spray it down. And then I'm gonna get my drill out. And I don't know if you guys ever seen these, but we use these to clean our shower. Not the big circular one. I guess we have used these to clean our shower, but I clean them off really good after I'm done. So gonna take these, attach it to my drill, and just scrub the heck out of the carpet and try to lift some of that dirt out of there. I've watched many detailing videos showing people like using that to loosen everything up, and it gets quite a bit of dirt out. And I also have a steam cleaner that I'm also gonna come out, bring it out here and suck all that stuff up with. So still waiting on the parts to get the S-10 actually running. So in the meantime, why not, let's clean up the interior and get at least one step out of the way. One thing I did learn when I was taking out the seats was these clips right here, you guys can see them, yeah, these clips right here go down over the bolts. And when those are on there, it clips to those to actually hold these brackets in on the back. So I'm gonna have to order a couple of those. They shouldn't be but a couple cents a piece, maybe 50 cents a piece, and then get those put all back in. So in the meantime, I'm gonna clean the carpet, probably scrub down some panels over here. And then I'm also gonna be needing to find another one of these center console inlays. As you can see, it's covered from the crushed foam of the center console being all damaged. So I found one of these on Rock Auto for about 55 bucks. But see how this is all broken? I'm gonna have to order another center console piece like this, because this is where the actual piece lays. We'll see. I'm trying not to spend too much money on this, but I do want to make it right, for the simple fact that if I'm selling it to somebody, I want it to be a vehicle that's going to be reliable. That's just me, you know, how I operate. I'm not just going to piece it back together, try to make a quick buck off of it, and screw somebody over. So I'll keep So I've been out here all freaking day pretty much. I'm exhausted. I got the inside cleaned out. You guys seen that? And I decided to divulge and jump into the fuel tank. So got that joker out. Got the skid pan, like not even a skid pan, it's a plastic skid plate right there. All this by myself. Had to cut the hoses that for the fill neck because those are dry rotted to hell. And my wife helped me dump all the 3/4 of a tank of fuel out, and that's in these buckets. So go take those to the recycling place and wait for the parts. Hopefully we'll get the interior back together here soon. I think I'm gonna be able to put all that back in probably tomorrow, let it dry out, air dry it. Then I'm gonna air bomb it with a Meguiar's black chrome scent bomb. Bought this at O'Reilly's. Gonna be just setting that off in the interior, and then I got some black ice for the mirror. Went over here and cleaned off all the trim pieces. This had like a bunch of, it almost looked like sawdust that was in there. I had to get that cleaned out with the vacuum. And then I threw away the armrest because the armrest is just completely trash. So I'm trying to find one of those. I may have to order one off Rock Auto. Cleaned up the center console pieces a little bit. Wiped these down, they all look pretty new. The center console itself is a little older, a little beat up. I had to super glue these tabs right here, and then I'll flip it over. Hopefully I don't break anything. And then I'm gonna super glue this. This is the hinge piece that sits in here like such for the center console lid. So that broke off. I tried to find a whole new center console, but they're not readily available, and or people want an arm and a leg for them. So I'm just gonna fix what I got. I'm gonna try to do the best I can so it's the most stable as possible. And then the only thing I really need to put the interior completely back together is the folding armrest. You guys see my hands are a freaking mess. Kind of fun though, gives me something to do. Quarantine still, so keep me busy. But parts should be here, it says July 1st. Hopefully they get here a little sooner. I'm about to run power checks not power checks, but I'm gonna run I'll see if I'm getting power at the fuel pump back there. I'd never heard the fuel pump turn on. Fuses are good, the relay is good. So I'm gonna turn the key on and I'm gonna see what kind of power I'm reading back there at the fuel pump. So that's be my next step. All right guys, this is day 2 of the S-10 Blazer flip. So far I have gotten the gas tank out. I got a new battery in it, and today I actually went to Napa, or had my wife go to Napa and get me a drive motor for the power window. It's pretty simple. The only thing you got to do to take it apart is there's a screw here, and then there's 2 7mm under here that you got to take off, and the thing just pops out. I didn't record it. Sorry about that. I missed that part, but there's 3 rivets on there you got to drill out. You drill those out. Throw the new motor on, put the adapter plug on there, and it should work just fine. I took the fuel pump out of the fuel tank. That was pretty simple. I started having my wife come out here earlier and start the Blazer, and what we were having problems with was, or what I was trying to have, I thought I was having problems with, was I wasn't reading power at the fuel pump. I thought it might have been an ignition circuit, so what I did was I disarmed the coil right here. Not disarmed it, but pulled the cap off, and I saw arcing, so I knew that was good. Then I disconnected the intake cover and I sprayed some starter fluid in there, and she started up. So I know my ignition system's good. I'm just trying to figure out what the problem is with the fuel pump. I ordered a fuel pump off of Rock Auto, should be here on Tuesday, and we're gonna go from there. I think everything else is pretty good. I did the interior detail, pulled the seats out. I don't know if this is showing up real well, but I did the interior detail. I ordered a console cover off of eBay. That should be here on, I think, the 1st of July, and then everything else looks pretty good. So got a fully functioning operating S-10 Blazer. Hopefully she should be moving under her own power in the next couple days once I get all those parts in. So. And for the fuel pump troubleshooting, what I did was I looked at the relays, I looked at the fuses and everything under here. There's a big old relay that's underneath the fuse box here, and I'll show you guys that real quick. It's this relay, fuel pump. I don't know if you guys can see that real well. the fuel pump relay F pump right there above the DRL, which is right here. That's this relay right here. I swapped it with the horn, verified it worked with the horn, and everything worked good. So we know that relay is good. And I've also got to the point where I looked at the Schrader valve that's on the actual fuel rail itself, and I pressed it to see if there's any more fuel coming out of there. There wasn't any. When I disconnected the fuel lines from the fuel pump, they were completely, the fuel feed line was completely dry. So I'm having a very good inclination that the actual problem is going to be the fuel pump. The Blazer has 121,000 miles on it. So there's things that are going to start to go wrong. I've got plugs, wires. I got plugs and wires coming. Also a new distributor cap. That should be here as well on the Wednesday. And then we also have some cosmetic things like the wipers. All right, Mama's car is back in the garage. Blazer's over there. So that part came in like 3 days early, the fuel pump. So check this out. Got her running up real good. Cranks just fine. Easy day. So problem I'm having now is air conditioning. Air conditioning is, I believe, leaking somewhere. I just don't know where it's at. Actually, sounds like the pump just engaged, or the AC condenser just engaged. It's kicking on and kicking off. I charged it. Nothing is worked so far. So kind of hear it kicking in and kicking off. You'll see the pressure on the AC Pro gauge, the charging gauge. It'll go like to 40 to 50 psi, drop to like 10 or 15, and then it kicks off and it goes back up. So I think I got a leak somewhere. As of right now, with all the parts I've ordered, including the price of the vehicle, I'm at like $706. So doing pretty good. Gonna change the oil next, troubleshoot the AC condenser or AC leak, and then I'll do the plugs and wires, and we're gonna send this baby on our way. So pretty good update so far. It's my first little project slash what I'm gonna do is flip it. So hopefully it turns out pretty good. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So here's the gauge. It's filled up. You'll hear the clutch engage. Goes back up. So when the clutch engages, it drops to like 15 psi, kicks off, and goes back up to about 50. Thinking I got a leak. That's gonna be it for today's video. There's a lot that's in this video. So bought the vehicle, got it home on a U-Haul, had to push it up the driveway with my buddy James across the street with his four-wheeler, got it in here and to start tearing it apart. First things first is I had to put a new battery in it. That battery was completely dead. And then the second thing I had to do was actually take out the fuel tank. That was a fun process. It was about halfway full, a little bit over. Wife had to come out and help me empty it. Poured it in some 2 5-gallon buckets. And I got one bucket back in there. The other one I'm gonna take to the dump because I had to, not the dump, or the recycling center, because I mixed that with some old diesel from the truck when I changed fuel filters last. So looks like I got hit in the face or something. Hell, I don't know, I may have. But pretty successful on the first 2 days. I say within 36 hours, I got the vehicle here running, took it to the parts store, picked up some Freons, an oil filter, some oil. And now we're just gonna wait and get till the other parts get here, throw those on, and then list her up for sale once we figure out the air conditioning leak and get the system charged. So hopefully we can have this thing bought, fixed, and sold within, say, a week and a half, 2 weeks. So that's the goal. Yeah, so appreciate you guys watching. If you guys haven't already, click down below, comment, subscribe, and give me a thumbs up on this video. I know it doesn't pertain to the diesel market, or like what we're mainly focused on for this channel, but this is a flip to get money back into the diesel. So once again, appreciate you guys. Until then, we'll see you guys on the next upload. Take her easy.